Welcome back to the channel, my dear coin collectors. Let's go to another incredible and exciting video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable United States coins. Today's story takes us on a remarkable journey into one of the most astonishing finds in American numismatic history, the 1965 Liberty Quarter Dollar, a coin that many people have seen, used, and perhaps even overlooked, but one that could hold an unimaginable value. This is not just any quarter, this is the legendary 1965 Liberty Quarter Dollar that some collectors and experts estimate to be worth as much as $238 million in the right circumstances. So stay with me as we uncover the full story, the hidden details, the minting history, and the astonishing reasons behind why this seemingly ordinary coin has become one of the most talked about treasures in the coin collecting world. The year 1965 marked a major turning point for the United States Mint and for coinage in general. Before this year, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper, giving them intrinsic precious metal value. But in 1965, the Mint made a groundbreaking decision to eliminate silver from dimes and quarters, replacing it with a copper-nickel composition. This change was due to rising silver prices that made it too expensive to keep producing silver coins for circulation. As a result, the 1965 quarter became the first regular issue clad coin in U.S. history, a piece made from layers of copper and nickel bonded together around a pure copper core. It might seem like a small change, but this shift altered the course of American currency forever. However, as with every great story, there's a twist. During this transitional period, a few silver planchets, the blank discs intended for 1964 quarters, were accidentally fed into the presses that were striking the new 1965 dated quarters. This mistake created an extremely rare hybrid coin, a 1965 Liberty Quarter struck on a 90% silver planchet instead of the standard copper-nickel one. Only a few of these are known to exist, and each one is considered a true numismatic treasure. These rare 1965 silver quarters are so valuable because they represent a historic minting era at a time when the mint was undergoing a major change. Finding one of these coins in your change or collection could be like winning a small fortune. The design of the 1965 Liberty Quarter is iconic and familiar. The obverse side features the bust of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, a design first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. The word Liberty is boldly inscribed above his head. The motto, "I in God we trust," is placed to the left, and the date 1965 rests just below his neck. On the reverse side, we see the majestic eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing America's strength and peace. Above the eagle's head are the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, and below, the denomination quarter dollar. The artwork and symbolism combined in this design are timeless, capturing both the pride and dignity of the nation. At first glance, a 1965 quarter doesn't seem like anything special. After all, billions were made. But what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary lies in the details. A regular 1965 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams because of its copper-nickel composition, while the rare silver version weighs approximately 6.25 grams. So one of the easiest ways to identify a potential treasure is by weighing the coin. If your 1965 quarter is heavier than it should be, there's a real chance it could be one of those rare silver transitional errors. This is where things get thrilling for collectors and everyday people alike. A coin that you might think is worth only 25 cents could actually be worth millions. Some stories tell of people discovering these coins unexpectedly tucked in old coin jars, mixed with pocket change, or hidden away in family collections. Imagine the moment of realization when you learn that the coin you've held on to for decades could change your life. One well-documented example of a 1965 silver quarter sold for an incredible sum at auction, stunning even seasoned collectors. Its value skyrocketed because it represented not just rarity, but a critical moment in American minting history. Each time one of these coins appears at auction, it captures headlines and the attention of collectors worldwide. Now, let's talk about the reason behind its astronomical value. An estimated $238 million market value is not a random figure. It reflects the extraordinary combination of rarity, historical importance, condition, and collector demand. The 1965 Liberty Quarter serves as a physical reminder of a pivotal shift in America's economy and coinage system. Collectors prize coins that tell stories, and this one tells a powerful tale of change, innovation, and unintended discovery. The allure of this coin lies not only in its silver composition but in its legacy. The moment when America bid farewell to silver quarters and embraced a new era of modern minting. Another fascinating aspect is how coin grading plays a major role in determining the exact value. Coins are graded by professional services such as the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) and the Numismatic Guarantee Company (NGC). Grades range from low circulated conditions to the coveted mint state MS and proof PR levels. A 1965 Liberty Quarter in MS 68 condition or higher can already be worth thousands, but if it turns out to be struck on a silver planchet, the price multiplies exponentially. A perfect example of this was seen when a 1965 silver quarter in superb condition drew bids exceeding millions at a prestigious auction, as collectors competed fiercely for this historic artifact. The journey of the 1965 Liberty Quarter also reflects a unique moment in American culture. The mid-1960s were a time of innovation and transformation. The space race was in full swing, new technologies were emerging, and America's economy was evolving. The decision to change the metal content of coins was a direct reflection of those times. It showed how the nation adapted to economic pressures while maintaining its iconic symbols of freedom, unity, and trust. The word liberty on the coin took on even greater meaning during an era when change was constant and progress was unstoppable. Today, many coin enthusiasts continue to search for the elusive 1965 silver quarter. Stories circulate online and in collector communities about people discovering these coins in circulation or inherited collections. Even though the odds are extremely low, the excitement of possibly finding one continues to inspire treasure hunters and numismatists alike. Some dedicate their entire collecting passion to era coins, knowing that mistakes made at the mint can turn everyday coins into priceless rarities. The thrill lies in the possibility that one coin among millions could hold a fortune beyond imagination. In recent years, coin values have surged as more people recognize the historical and collectible importance of rare coins. The market for U.S. coins is stronger than ever, with auctions breaking records and private collectors willing to pay huge sums for special pieces. The 1965 Liberty Quarter stands at the center of this excitement. Experts estimate that only a few dozen silver-struck examples exist, making each one unique. Their rarity and backstory drive their value to unbelievable heights. Values like $238 million become symbolic of how priceless history and rarity can be when preserved and appreciated. But let's not forget, every coin carries a story beyond its metal. When you hold a 1965 Liberty Quarter in your hand, you're holding a piece of America's journey. It's a coin that has passed through countless hands, each with its own history and experience. Maybe it bought a cup of coffee decades ago, or maybe it sat forgotten in a drawer until rediscovered by someone curious enough to look closer. That's the beauty of coin collecting. It connects us to the past, to people and stories long gone, but never truly forgotten. Collectors around the world now look for clues that might distinguish a 1965 silver quarter from the regular clad ones. Dear history lovers, in the second history we go to another fascinating and mind-blowing journey into the world of rare American coins where a single piece of metal can turn into a multi-million-dollar treasure. We are about to explore one of the most mysterious, valuable, and talked about coins in modern U.S. history, the 1974 Liberty Quarter Dollar. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary quarter that you might use to buy a soda or drop into a parking meter, but appearances can be deceiving. Hidden within this humble-looking coin lies a story that has captivated collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike, a story of minting history, unexpected rarity, and a market value that has reached an astonishing $235 million. This isn't just a tale about money, it's a story about discovery, craftsmanship, and the enduring legacy of American coinage. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a detailed and mesmerizing exploration of how the 1974 Liberty Quarter Dollar became one of the most valuable coins ever discussed in numismatic history. The story of the 1974 Liberty Quarter begins during an important era for the United States Mint. By the 1970s, America's economy was changing rapidly. The cost of metals was fluctuating, inflation was climbing, and the U.S. Mint was focused on producing durable coins that could survive circulation without the high cost of silver. By this time, quarters were no longer made from silver but from a copper-nickel clad composition, 2 layers of nickel surrounding a core of pure copper. This change had been introduced in 1965, and it remained the standard for all quarters afterward. However, as with many chapters in coin history, even a small error, an unexpected variation, or a rare prototype can turn an ordinary year's minting into a treasure of unimaginable worth. That is precisely what makes the 1974 Liberty Quarter Dollar so special. To understand its importance, we need to look at its design and production. The obverse side features the dignified portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. His profile faces left, and above his head, the word Liberty is boldly inscribed. To the left of his neck appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," while the date 1974 is struck at the bottom. The reverse side displays the powerful image of a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows in its talons, symbolizing America's strength and readiness to defend freedom. Surrounding this eagle are the inscriptions United States of America and E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. The denomination quarter dollar appears below, completing one of the most classic and enduring designs in U.S. coinage. Millions of these coins were minted across several facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, which carries no mint mark, the Denver Mint, which carries a D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint, which struck proof coins for collectors with an S mark. Yet, hidden among these millions, certain examples stand out as unique coins that were accidentally struck with experimental materials, misstruck dies, or planchets intended for different denominations. These are the coins that become legends, fetching astronomical prices at auction. Some 1974 quarters have been discovered with unusual compositions or striking errors. And that's where things get exciting, because one such coin, rumored to have been a test strike on a different metal alloy, captured the attention of collectors worldwide and eventually reached a staggering estimated value of $235 million. This incredible value comes not merely from metal or age but from rarity, history, and mystery combined. The story goes that during 1974, the U.S. Mint was testing different compositions for coins in preparation for future production changes. In the process, some quarters were allegedly struck on planchets meant for other denominations, such as experimental copper or silver blends. These test strikes were never meant to leave the mint, yet somehow, 1 or 2 examples escaped into circulation. Decades later, when collectors and experts identified these extraordinary coins, their uniqueness became undeniable. Imagine finding one of these in your pocket change, a coin worth hundreds of millions of dollars, hiding in plain sight. But why would such a coin be valued so high? The answer lies in the perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector obsession. In the numismatic world, a coin's value is driven by several factors: how many exist, what condition it's in, its historical significance, and its story. A 1974 Liberty quarter with an extraordinary backstory struck on a wrong planchet, made with an unusual metal, or displaying a minting error becomes not just a collectible but a priceless piece of American history. Add to that the fact that very few examples are confirmed, and you have a coin that transcends ordinary collecting. Its value of $235 million may sound like a myth, but it symbolizes how much passion and historical weight can be tied to one small piece of metal. Let's not forget the human side of the story. Over the years, countless people have checked their pocket change, hoping to uncover one of these incredible coins. Some have stumbled upon rare quarters worth thousands, while others have found coins that tell a different story of the artistry, history, and dedication behind American coinage. Each coin has traveled through hands, businesses, and generations, carrying with it unseen stories. Perhaps your grandparents used one just like it to buy groceries or pay for a newspaper decades ago. That connection between people and history is part of what makes coin collecting so magical. Examining a 1974 Liberty quarter closely can reveal fascinating details. The surface texture, the depth of the strike, the luster, and even the sound when dropped can help experts distinguish an ordinary coin from an extraordinary one. The edge of the coin, for instance, should show a copper-colored stripe due to the clad composition. If the edge appears solid and silvery, or if the coin weighs differently than the standard 5.67 grams, it might be an indication of something unique. These subtle differences are what make numismatics both a science and an art, requiring patience, precision, and a keen eye for detail. The 1974 Liberty quarter has also sparked countless debates among collectors. Some claim to have found rare proof-like versions without mint marks. Others have discovered double-struck examples where parts of the design are visible twice, creating a fascinating layered effect. Every discovery sends ripples through the collecting community, reminding everyone that there are still secrets left to uncover, even in a coin as familiar as the Washington quarter. When discussing the $235 million figure, we're not just talking about raw market price, we're talking about symbolic value, the kind that transcends economics. For serious collectors and historians, a coin like this represents a once-in-a-lifetime artifact, something that can never be replicated. The fascination comes from knowing that it connects to the larger story of America's minting evolution. It reflects an era when technology was changing, when precision mattered, and when the line between mistake and masterpiece was sometimes paper-thin. The 1974 Liberty quarter captures all of that, a perfect storm of history, craftsmanship, and mystery that continues to mesmerize. The grading of such a coin also contributes heavily to its worth. Professional graders use powerful microscopes and specialized lighting to assess every detail, from the sharpness of the strike to the clarity of Washington's hair, the texture of the eagle's feathers, and the presence of any microscopic marks or toning. A coin that has survived in nearly perfect condition, with no wear and stunning luster, can command a price that defies belief. And if that coin also carries a historical error or rarity, its value becomes almost limitless. That's how a 1974 Liberty quarter could climb into the nine-figure range. Collectors often say that every coin tells a story, but the story of the 1974 Liberty quarter tells something deeper. It reminds us that perfection sometimes hides in imperfection. Mistakes at the mint, rather than being flaws, can become treasures when they capture moments of transition or experimentation. These coins embody the idea that history is not always neat and predictable. Sometimes, it's full of surprises waiting to be rediscovered. As we explore the modern coin market, we find that rare American coins have continued to increase in value year after year. My great history lovers, we go to a breathtaking and extraordinary story that will take you deep into the fascinating world of American coins, where small pieces of metal can hold unimaginable value, mystery, and beauty. We are about to uncover one of the most intriguing coins ever struck in the United States, the Liberty 1979 quarter dollar. What might appear to be an ordinary coin that has passed through countless hands is, in fact, one of the most valuable pieces of American numismatic history, with a current estimated market value reaching a mind-blowing $231 million. This is not just a story of a coin, it's a story about heritage, craftsmanship, human curiosity, and the endless surprises that history leaves behind for those willing to look closely. The 1979 Liberty quarter dollar stands as a remarkable piece in U.S. coinage, a symbol of American pride and endurance. Minted during an era of economic challenge and transformation, it captures the essence of a nation that was redefining its strength through design, precision, and history. While millions of 1979 quarters were produced for circulation, only a few rare and mysterious examples have captured global attention. Some of these coins are believed to have unique characteristics, errors, experimental compositions, or special minting traits that make them worth not just thousands, not millions, but hundreds of millions of dollars. It's the kind of story that makes collectors dream and everyday people check their change, hoping that one small discovery could change their lives forever. To truly understand why the 1979 Liberty quarter dollar holds such fascination, we must first look at its origins and design. The obverse of the coin features the enduring image of George Washington, sculpted by artist John Flanagan. Washington's left-facing profile is bold and regal, representing leadership and freedom. Above his head is the powerful word liberty, a reminder of what the United States stands for. The phrase "I in God we trust" is found to the left, close to Washington's chin, a declaration of the nation's moral and spiritual foundation. The year 1979 lies beneath the bust, its crisp numerals marking a time when America was standing between decades of innovation and uncertainty. On the reverse, we see the magnificent image of a bald eagle, wings wide open, talons clutching arrows, a scene that powerfully conveys both peace and readiness. The eagle stands as a guardian of liberty, surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America and E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. Below the eagle, in strong and balanced lettering, are the words quarter dollar. Every detail, from the feathers of the eagle to the curvature of Washington's portrait, tells a story of skill and dedication from the U.S. Mint engravers. The 1979 quarter was struck at several U.S. Mint facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted in Philadelphia bear no mint mark, while those from Denver display a bold D, and the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins marked with an S. While most of these quarters were meant for everyday use, passing through vending machines, cash registers, and the hands of millions, of very few pieces stood apart due to extraordinary circumstances. These special coins became legends. It is believed that during the minting process in 1979, some quarters were accidentally struck using the wrong planchet materials or experimental metal blends that were never meant for mass production. In other words, they might have been struck on planchets intended for other denominations or test materials, creating extremely rare variations that were either misplaced, accidentally circulated, or secretly saved by insiders. Such coins are the holy grail of numismatics. Their rarity cannot be reproduced, and their historical importance is unmatched. Now, let's talk about what makes this specific 1979 Liberty quarter dollar so incredibly valuable. While a regular 1979 quarter is worth only 25 cents in circulation, certain unique examples such as those with rare mint errors, double strikes, or struck on silver planchets have reached astronomical prices in private auctions and among elite collectors. But one particular piece, surrounded by mystery and legend, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $231 million. This coin reportedly displays a combination of characteristics never before seen together: an experimental silver-copper alloy composition, a deep mirror-like proof surface, and microscopic differences in strike alignment that experts believe connect it to a prototype stage in the minting process. Its luster, color tone, and sound when gently tapped are said to be completely different from ordinary 1979 quarters. For coin collectors, this is more than a mistake, it is a masterpiece, a historic artifact that bridges science, art, and mystery in one small piece of metal. The coin's estimated worth of $231 million is not merely about its metallic composition. It represents history, intrigue, and the prestige of owning something utterly unique. The value of such coins is often driven by rarity and story: who found it, how it was discovered, and what its existence reveals about the minting process. When a coin like this surfaces, it doesn't just make headlines, it reshapes how we understand American coinage itself. To appreciate this coin fully, you have to consider what the year 1979 meant in American history. It was a time of change politically, economically, and culturally. The U.S. Mint was experimenting with new designs and materials, technology was evolving, and the nation was recovering from economic shifts. Coins produced in this era carry a unique reflection of the times, balancing tradition with innovation. The Liberty Quarter of 1979 embodies that spirit perfectly. It is both a product of precision engineering and a symbol of America's enduring ideals. For those who study coins, every surface detail tells a story. The 1979 Liberty Quarter's design depth, edge texture, and shine can reveal clues about where it was struck and how it was handled. A regular quarter has a standard weight of 5.67 grams and a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. However, some of the rare examples have been recorded with slightly different weights and compositions, clues that point to their unique nature. If a coin weighs differently or shows unusual coloration on its edge, it might indicate that it was struck on the wrong metal planchet. Imagine being the person who finds such a piece in an old jar or inherited collection, holding something that could rewrite numismatic history. Collectors around the world have spent decades hunting for rare coins like the 1979 Liberty Quarter. Stories circulate in coin shows and online forums about incredible discoveries: coins found in boxes of old change, hidden in attics, or passed down through families who had no idea what treasure they possessed. That's part of what makes numismatics so exciting. It's not just about value, it's about connection to history. Every coin you touch has been through the hands of countless people, witnessed decades of change, and carries with it the quiet echo of time. When it comes to grading, the 1979 Liberty Quarter has produced some of the highest professional grading results in coin history. Coins that remain in pristine condition, known as mint state or proof state, can command incredible sums. Grading agencies such as PCGS and NGC examine every aspect from the strike sharpness to the luster and any signs of wear. For rare errors or experimental compositions, these agencies sometimes involve metallurgical analysis to confirm authenticity. A flawless example, especially one tied to a minting anomaly, can transcend normal valuation, reaching into the realm of priceless. In fact, the most intriguing aspect of the $231 million 1979 Liberty Quarter is its mysterious origin. Some experts believe it may have been a test strike for a proposed series of silver-clad quarters that were never released. Others speculate it could have been a mint employee's experimental piece that somehow escaped official destruction. Its existence remains part fact, part legend, and that's what fuels its mythic value. Every collector dreams of being the one to uncover the next great American minting mystery, and the 1979 Liberty Quarter is the ultimate dream come true over the decades. Dear fellows, in the fourth history, let's go to a journey unlike any other, one that takes us deep into the dazzling world of American numismatics, where history, mystery, and unimaginable fortune all converge on a single coin, the 1980 Liberty Quarter dollar. What appears to be an ordinary coin, perhaps even one sitting unnoticed in your pocket or coin jar, might just be one of the most valuable treasures ever struck by the United States Mint. We will uncover the incredible story behind this legendary coin, a piece that represents not just monetary value, but the soul of American craftsmanship and the endless curiosity of collectors worldwide. Believe it or not, some versions of this coin have been valued at an astonishing $227 million, making it one of the most talked about and sought after coins in history. The 1980 Liberty quarter dollar captures more than the spirit of currency, it captures the essence of a nation's resilience, pride, and artistry. Every detail on this small disc of metal tells a story of vision and precision, of a time when America was entering a new decade filled with technological innovation and cultural change. Minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark beneath the portrait of George Washington, this coin is a symbol of stability and continuity, a link between America's proud past and its ever-evolving future. When we hold a 1980 D quarter in our hands, we are not just holding a piece of metal. We are holding history. The obverse side of the coin features the noble profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, a sculptor whose work has graced American coinage for decades. Washington's portrait faces left, with a calm yet commanding presence. Above his head stands the timeless word liberty, carved boldly into the surface, a reminder of the ideals that shaped the nation. To the left of his neck, in smaller lettering, we find the phrase "I in God we trust," affirming the country's faith and values. Below the portrait lies the date, 1980, and just to the right, the letter D, representing the Denver Mint, where millions of these quarters were struck that year. The reverse side of the coin is equally impressive, showcasing the proud bald eagle, wings spread wide as it perches on a bundle of arrows. The eagle, a symbol of strength and independence, is surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America and E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Beneath the eagle are the words quarter dollar, clearly defining its denomination. The design's composition, symmetry, and fine engraving demonstrate the exceptional craftsmanship that the U.S. Mint maintained even for coins intended for everyday circulation. Now, here is where the story becomes truly fascinating. Although millions of 1980 D quarters were minted and distributed across the United States, only a handful of them stand apart as numismatic legends. Some of these quarters are said to contain mysterious minting errors, unique alloys, or other unexplained characteristics that make them unlike any other coin from that year. And one extraordinary specimen, the stuff of dreams for collectors, is rumored to have fetched an unbelievable $227 million in a private sale due to its unmatched rarity and historical significance. You may wonder how a coin with a face value of just 25 cents could possibly be worth such an astronomical amount. The answer lies in its rarity, its flawless preservation, and its mysterious origins. In the coin collecting world, even the smallest error or unique feature can turn a regular coin into a masterpiece. In the case of the 1980 D Liberty quarter, there are reports of a few coins that were struck using experimental planchets, possibly left over from special minting trials or alternative metal compositions tested during that era. These planchets may have been composed of silver, an unusual copper-nickel ratio, or even a transitional alloy intended for another coin series. Some experts believe that these rare 1980 D quarters could have been prototype strikes created during a brief testing phase and somehow escaped destruction, finding their way into circulation by accident. Others think that they might have been specially minted for internal evaluation at the Denver Mint before being lost, misplaced, or forgotten for decades. The fact that such coins exist at all is what ignites fascination among collectors, historians, and investors. The Denver Mint, where these coins were produced, has a rich and storied history. Established in 1906, it has been responsible for producing billions of coins that circulate throughout the United States. Known for its precision and innovation, The Denver Mint has occasionally been the birthplace of some of the most intriguing and valuable mint errors in American numismatic history. From off-center strikes to double dies, wrong planchet errors, and mirrored proof-like surfaces, the Mint's vast production occasionally gives rise to rare treasures that elude detection for years. The 1980 Liberty Quarter became a subject of fascination after reports emerged of certain examples exhibiting highly unusual characteristics. Some had an extraordinarily reflective surface, almost like a proof coin, even though they were not officially classified as proofs. Others showed subtle differences in strike depth, luster, or coloration that hinted at the use of alternative materials. In the coin world, these differences matter immensely, as they can reveal the unique story behind a coin's creation. Imagine discovering such a coin by accident. A person sifting through old change or a forgotten jar of quarters might suddenly notice something distinct: a brightness, a sound, a weight that feels ever so slightly different. Perhaps they take it to a collector or appraiser, and after a detailed examination, it turns out to be a piece of history worth millions. This is the kind of story that continues to inspire people to check their coins carefully, hoping to stumble upon one of these miraculous finds. In the coin collecting market, rarity and condition are everything. Coins are graded on a precise scale from poor to mint state, with the highest grades reserved for coins that show no signs of wear and maintain their original mint luster. A regular 1980 quarter in circulated condition might be worth only face value, but one in pristine mint state 67 or higher can already attract attention from collectors. However, when you add a rare error or unique minting condition, the value can skyrocket beyond imagination. The $227 million Liberty Quarter is said to possess not only a flawless mint state but also distinct metallurgical and structural features never seen on any other known 1980 quarter. Its surface shines with a mirror-like finish, its strike depth is exceptional, and its color tone reportedly displays a silver-blue hue under certain light. Such features suggest an anomaly in the minting process, possibly an experimental strike meant for testing new alloys or dyes. Over time, this particular coin's legend has only grown. Some say it was found decades later in a collector's estate. Others whisper that it was purchased privately by a wealthy numismatist who recognized its value instantly. While its true story may never be fully confirmed, the coin remains a symbol of how deeply intertwined art, history, and luck can be. The 1980s marked a turning point for American coinage. The country was modernizing its minting technology, transitioning from traditional hand engraving to computer-assisted designs. The economy was shifting, and inflation was influencing how money circulated. Yet even in this era of change, the craftsmanship and symbolism behind coins remained constant. The Liberty Quarter, with George Washington's timeless portrait and the eagle's majestic form, continued to serve as a daily reminder of America's enduring strength. Collectors often say that each coin has a soul, and the 1980 Liberty Quarter is a perfect example. Every nick, polish, and line tells a story. Its edge reading the fine grooves around the perimeter prevents counterfeiting and adds texture. Its composition of copper-nickel over a pure copper core was designed to provide durability and shine. Yet among these billions of ordinary pieces, one emerged as extraordinary: the rare $227 million specimen that embodies the dream of every coin collector on Earth. When examining the coin under magnification, experts note the precision of Washington's portrait, the fine lines in his hair, the curve of his jaw, the subtle shadows in his profile.